Hi everyone, this is Lien and welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a Halloween card using some newly released products, being the Thanks for Being My Friend, Ghostly Greetings and Parisienne Mini Slimline from Crafty Meraki. All of these products were released during the Meraki Craftober release, and this is my personal favorite stamp set from this release because I love critters and cute images. I'm not a flowery kind of person, but there are so many incredible flowers and I'm just amazed every time that I see someone creating a flower inspired card. It's incredible. But if you're like me and you love cute images, I think that this stamp set truly stole your heart as well. I'm doing some copy coloring today, so I stamped these two images onto Transotype perfect coloring paper using my Gina K Designs Amalgam ink, Obsidian Black. And I'm going to make a really simple card, but with the Parisienne Mini Slimline Die, I think it's truly a fabulous card at the same time. We are doing really simple things, but that die just tops it all. It's incredible. Now for the coloring, I'm also keeping it simple because I am limiting myself to this black combination on the cat and on the costume as well. Although the costume is a bit bigger, so there I decided to add one more warm gray marker to the combination just to have a bit more contrast all over the image. But here you can just see me repeat the same process. I'm coloring from darkest to lightest, but you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. There are many ways to use your alcohol markers or your Copic markers specifically. You do what you feel comfortable with and what you like and where you get that end result that you really love. So I'm just building up and then I go over it again until I like the blend. And here of course you can switch it up and you can have fun with it. You can even, instead of, I was inspired by Catwoman, just black and neat and tidy and all those things, but you can also make her a panther or a leopard or anything like that. I think that's definitely an option if you want to, and it's so much fun. Now here, as you can see, once I add a second layer, the whole color that I had is completely changed by just going back and forth and get the blend that I want. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to continue with all the rest, but I'm just limiting myself to 2 images. But definitely check out the design team blog posts, all the other YouTube videos if you want to be inspired to and to see what other things you might be able to create with these products, because there is so much that you can do and only a certain amount of time to share all the ideas that we all have. So definitely have fun. Halloween is almost there, and I'm trying to finish those last Halloween cards that I really wanted to make this year, and this one is definitely one of them, and I'm so glad that I can share it today with you, and I hope that I can inspire you to maybe try something similar. I'm also going to do a bit of heavy ink blending today with purples, a color that is so powerful if you use it on cards. Personally, I find that, but also Halloween inspired cards, I just think when you use a bit of purple, it's such a difference that you can create with that, and I just love it. I must admit, from time to time I must say to myself, just hold there, stop adding all the time purples, because it's just so wonderful to use that. Now for the skin tone, I decided to go a bit darker than I usually do. My most used skin tone is E13, E11, E01, and E00. But today I thought, why don't I just start with a bit of a darker marker? And I love this combination as well. I think it's really cute, and I think that it also stands out next to the black. I was happy with this try out, if I can call it like that, and I think this is definitely a marker combination that I will keep in mind for skin tones whenever the occasion is there to use a bit of a darker skin tone for me. And then of course I'm trying to have my shadows all on the right side of my images. This way they are all facing the same direction, the same light source. So when I got the products, I didn't got the dyes immediately, so I fussy cut them out, and it's doable, but I love dyes. I have the dyes in the meantime, and I must admit it's so much easier to just have dyes for me. But if needed, I can do a bit of fussy cutting, and it was definitely worth it, this image. Well, these two images. So I'm just taking my time, and I'm mostly turning my paper, but I will not show you everything because that's a bit, I think you know the idea of fussy cutting, and it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's definitely not necessarily mine, but when times ask for it, we can do it. So for the background, as I said previously, I'm going to create a really powerful purple background. But as you can see here, I use the Parisienne Mini Slimline Die, which is a fabulous mini slimline. But if you prefer doing slimlines, there is also a slimline version. I don't have that one, so I'm really glad I got this one to play with. And I'm just building up my gradients, going from darkest to lightest. The paper that I'm using here is Neenah, and I must admit, always working with Transotype, also ink blending on that kind of paper, you sort of forget that the other papers have other properties and they react a bit different. So I went all out here. I didn't go for soft blend at all. I truly added the inks like a crazy person to get my really dark background. And personally, I prefer starting quite subtle with all of the dark colors or inks. And then once I have my first layer, I can see how much space I have to add more of that dark color. So here you can see that I have a lot of that light color of purple, the Seedless preserves. But once that I know that I have this big of an amount of light colors, I know that I can shift it down a bit with all of the dark ones. And that's actually how I often create my background. Just go subtle at first and then just bring it all down to the rest of the background. And as you can see, even though I'm heavily ink blending, the background is still pretty visible and pretty as well. You can also turn this around the panel, but I just decided to use it this way. But I don't think that you can do anything wrong either. So you just decide which way you want to have it upwards with this design from the Parisienne Mini Slimline. And then for some grounding, I first thought of die cutting a hilly border thingy, but I actually really liked seeing the pattern just continue. So I decided to use the Drift and Hills stencil from My Favorite Things just to help me with that. Many hill stencils are out there. Also grass could have been something. You do you. And once I had that, I saw that I still could add a bit of that lighter color. So I cleaned off that brush. I have many brushes, but I was just lazy. And so I just decided to rub it over a paper towel to be able to continue with this one still. And then I try to sort of have that purple going all the way towards that hill. And then ink blending until I'm happy. So I have that, and I just love the design on the back. I think this card is a clean and simple, but that background really helps it stand out even more. You don't need it necessarily. You can do an even background without all the details of the Parisienne Mini Slimline, but I just thought this was incredible. Now to add the images, I'm using some thin foam squares. It's a height that I really like, and at the same time it's subtle, but you're still playing with dimension. So I'm just making sure to cover these images as much as possible, and then I will add them to the hill of this panel. So I first added the little girl, and then I'm going to add the cat. but it's going to overlay a little bit with the image of the girl. Once I'm happy, I'm pressing it down. Now for the sentiment, I am using the Ghostly Greetings, which is an incredible sentiment set. I just love it that there are so many different sentiments and there are some punny ones, and I really like that. So I decided to add this to white heat emboss it onto black cardstock and then trim it out using the itty bitty strips. I don't know if you know me already, but I'm just incapable of trimming down a sentiment strip myself. It always fails. It goes, well, it doesn't go straight. That's the most important thing about it all. I need sentiment strips to help me die cut sentiments. And so this one is like the perfect size to use the itty bitty strips with for my favorite things. So once I heat set the sentiment, I just trimmed that one out using the strips. And then you can still play with whichever border you want to have. And then I'm using some purple tape to keep the die in place. And then we can add that as well to this panel. I'm going to use some Dari's foam strips. These are thin foam strips. They have the regular thickness, but that's okay. We're just playing a bit with dimension. I'm going to use my T-square ruler to have it completely straight on there. And then we are going to embellish this panel. So you can add this sentiment wherever you want to add it. I just decided to do it over there. I don't know if you sort of see a triangle happening. It wasn't my idea to sort of have that happening, but okay. If that's not clear, then just forget about it. I used a dark warm gray marker to just add a bit of black to the strip, to the foam. It's not really needed, but I just thought that was handy to have. And then it was time to add my embellishments. Now, only the sparkle for now. This one is currently truly my favorite. It's the Periwinkle. It's from Crafty Meraki and it's just genius. You have pink, you have blue, you have purple, you have everything in one embellishment. And then in this whole jar you have quite a lot of embellishments. And there are so many sizes. I think there are 5 or 6 of them, or maybe 7. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like crazy, and it's perfect because I like to switch it up when I'm adding my embellishments to have different sizes, and this one is just fabulous. So let me just say that it's spectacular. I'm adding this panel now on a mini slimline card base, and then I'm going to finish this off using some glossy accents, adding it to the nose, and I also like to add it to the eyes. And once I did that and just got rid of all of the excess, this card is completely finished, and I will show you it a bit closer. But it was so much fun to create, and I just love this background. So I hope you love it too and that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wanna wish you all an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!